Hello. Hi. It's me, Brandon. I'm sorry, I'm looking weird because I realize my shoes aren't under the table and I have a foot pedal down there so that I can do this. And it doesn't work as well with my shoes on. Makes a lot of noise, hard to feel around for the pedals. I'm now shoeless. I am here to stream some Storyfold Wildwoods, which it's Owl, what is it? Open Owl Studios is the publisher who provided me this copy. I opened it, sat down to read the rulebook, and the rulebook basically said, like, what are you doing, dummy? Just play the prologue. So I said, sure, I will, and I'm going to subject the internet to it. So here I am, putting my watch in theater mode. I was clearly unprepared. If only the director, who is also me, hadn't started the stream so early. I'm drinking A&W Ice Cream Sundae Zero Sugar. Every time there's a new stupid soda at the grocery store, for some reason, I feel the need to buy a whole 12-pack. So here I am on like my third one. It's weird. It kind of nails the flavor of like an ice cream sundae. Like you get sort of some root beer, but also like some chocolate, I think, actually. It doesn't really, it tastes more like chocolate than vanilla to me. But it tastes like they nailed it via a lot of chemicals. And I mean, that's always true, especially of like diet soda. But this one in particular tastes that way to me. So I don't know how I feel about it. I'm, hang on, answering a yes or no question text. There we go. But anyway, speaking of liking, did I say like in a sentence about the soda? Anyway, if you hit the like button below this video, whether you're watching it live right now or in archive later, that would be cool. It's the only way to support the channel because we have no Patreon or anything, just to help boost us in the algorithm, and we will keep making stuff. That's kind of the deal, you know? So, Storyfold Wildwoods, I've basically put back in the box, and I guess this moment of the stream is going to be sort of an unboxing. Truly, other than this game is supposed to be like card-driven, narrative, and it's solo only, and it's got a really lovely looking box. It got a little damaged in transit, but it looks like a book. You can even it looks like the spine of a book on your shelf if you store it vertically. It's very cool. I'm a little sad about the damage here, and it's a magnetic lid here. But you know, what are you gonna do? I'm not despite having a big board game collection, I don't consider myself a board game collector. Board games are toys. I play with my toys, so I'm not anal about the quality of the box and stuff. But for a box that is so clearly designed to look great on your shelf, and that's when it's a slight bit of a bummer. But anyway, let's see what's in this thing. We've got, looks like a single token punch board. They are labeled light marker, spirit marker, shadow marker, stun tokens, location markers, and crystals. I think I'll take them out of this. They're also in this plastic. That feels a little unnecessary, but in this plastic sleeve. That's trash. I think that I will not punch them out until I need them, just so that I can keep the labels kind of intact and refer to them that way. So let's set that aside. Yeah, so there's a rules reference. This is where it says, welcome to Storyfold Wildwoods. To learn how to play the game, open the storybook to prologue called The Wild and follow the instructions on this page. This rules reference is a helpful tool once you've learned how to play the game. Here you can reference the various components to remind you how the rules of the game work. So it is not meant for you to read this to learn. It seems pretty clear to me. So I won't. Good riddance to that. And what else is in here? So this is played on this gorgeous spiral-bound book. It opens and then it kind of folds out. Clearly some area for gameplay that I don't understand yet. And then it's got pages all down the middle here. It's so pretty. I hope it's coming across on camera how pretty this is. It's extremely pretty. I'm very excited to see how the gameplay goes, because the production. Oh man, I just noticed the quote here. Fear is a guide, but so is love, the raven replied softly, folding its wings. It's incredible. It's the top-notch presentation on this. It looks like it comes with like a game trays kind of thing with some cards in it that says, "Do not open." We recommend waiting until you've completed the game once to add those cards to the game. Oh, but there's a lot of cards under this. I had not even lifted this yet. This is further than I've ever been unboxing this thing. So there's this tray, maybe tokens and things can be stored in here, but then there's that pack is challenge cards. So I'm going to set those aside for now, but we do have a lot of stuff in here. We have, it looks like D10s? No, it's a variety. 5 D8s, the black ones. The gray one is a D10 and the white one is a D12. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this prologue pack out of the box and assume that that's what I'm going to be using kind of on this stream and leave the rest here. Set this aside. I don't know how long, I'm not really setting out to have a terribly long live stream tonight. I haven't had dinner yet, so I don't want to go all evening. I don't really know how this game is even structured. I'm hoping that the prologue itself will be like a nice, 45 to 90 minute chunk, and that will be the stream, and then I'll probably record, depending on how much I like it, anywhere from 1 to all apparently 5 chapters of this as videos that I'll publish kind of on the channel, since we do a lot. I'm live streaming now, but our bread and butter is actually recording videos, editing them the tiniest bit, not a lot. Don't worry, you don't miss anything good. And then publishing those. So I will just, before I dive in, so that once we've set the mood, I'm not disrupting it with unwrapping cards, I will unwrap this deck. Come on. There we go. Yeah, my one complaint about the packaging and stuff so far, it's gorgeous, is that there's a lot of plastic in it. Actually, the cards feel pretty plasticky, but it's like plastic trays, plastic wrapper on the punch board for some reason, plastic on all the cards. I don't know. I'm kind of loving that the trend is away from that, both for its environmental implications. Impacts. Both for its environmental impact and it's like easier. It's easier to open cards wrapped in paper. I just really like that. No more fiddling with a little plastic. Anyway, Storyfold Wildwoods. We don't know what we're doing, but this is how to learn, so let's open it. Many moons ago, in a world of light and shadow, there was a girl named Luma. Alright, I guess the next page turns this way. Prologue. Call of the Wild. Oh, there's quite a bit here. Okay. Luma stood at the edge of the river, enjoying the crisp morning. The gentle sounds of flowing water calmed her as the sun's early rays warmed her face, and a light breeze caressed her hair like a playful hand. She savored the moment and sighed. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind sent a flurry of leaves past Luma. She watched as the swirling petals settled atop the water, forming a trail from her feet to the forest beyond the far bank. The leaves glowed with a soft luminescent light, beckoning her to approach. Heart-pounding, Luma knelt, hesitated, and then scooped a single leaf into her palm. A flash of light burst from her wrists. Luma's eyes widened as the world seemed to shift around her, and a vision arose from the depths of her mind. She saw a young woman and an infant giggling among the tall grass of a forest glen. Nearby, a large, majestic deer grazed peacefully until suddenly it raised its head sharply as if startled by an unseen danger. Then, as quickly as the vision appeared, it dispersed into shadow, leaving only an echo of distant howls. Gasping, I don't know how many times I've said Luna, because I know people named Luna, and Luma is a little less natural to me. Anyway, gasping, Luma found herself back at the river, where a low, rumbling growl drew her attention to the powerful bear at her side. It nuzzled Luma's hand with gentle affection. "It was her again, Brahm," she whispered as her fingers stroked the aging bear's silvery white fur. The visions had begun several moons ago, each time leaving her more unsettled. Something seemed familiar about the visions, but she could not place her finger on what. For as long as Luma could remember, she had lived at the river's edge, caring for creatures who came to drink its cool, clear water. In all that time, Brahm had been at her side, caring for her as she cared for the river. Any memories from a time before the river remained distant, impenetrable, much like the dark forest beyond. But now, something stirred in the shadows, like a festering wound spreading deep within the forest. Critters fled the woods in panic, and the river had turned... Critters fled the woods in panic, the river had turned foul, and flowers in full bloom wilted overnight. More worrisome, Eek, their playful squirrel friend, had not returned from his latest trip into the forest. Luma looked to Brahm, who stared back in expectation. She could not wait any longer. The creatures are suffering, Luma thought, but she had never dared cross the river before. Neat. Okay. It's a very, it starts with such a like serene setting and then kind of drops the turn that everything is getting a little worse and the creatures are worse off for it. Very cool. Again, I know you just stared at this for like a minute and a half if you're watching the stream while I read that, but beautiful art. All right, where'd I put the box? Who's the artist on this? Let's give some credit here. It's designed by Sjord Vanderlind. Wow, I am butchering that name, I'm sure. But Sjord Vanderlind, and artwork by Justine Chalio. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have bothered if I wasn't going to be able to pronounce names correctly, but credit to them. This is just beautiful. Welcome to Storyfold Wildwoods. When you're ready, find the deck of cards that says Prologue on the front and read Prologue card 1 to begin your journey. Conveniently, they're right here. Okay. Prologue. Return this card to the game box. When returning cards from the Prologue to the game box, place them with this card. Okay, and then it has instructions for resetting the deck on the back. Alright, the box is not currently on the table, but I will just I'll set it out of frame. We don't need to see stuff we don't need. Prologue card 1. Do not shuffle. Unless instructed otherwise, return these cards to the game box after reading and resolving the instructions on each side. Flip this card. Welcome to Storyfold Wildwoods. In Wildwoods, you play as a young girl, Luma, and her bear companion, Brahm, who set out to heal the forest from a dark and mysterious shadow. The story of Wildwoods is experienced across 5 chapters. Each time you play, you will progress through scenes until you finish the chapter. This introductory chapter is the prologue, and it consists of 2 scenes, crossing the river and into the dark. It says, read Prologue card 2. Prologue card 2. The left and right panels of the storybook are known as your dashboard, and the pages you flip through form the scenes. Sorry, even though dashboard is like a good plain English name for what this is, everything so far has been so flowery and artistic and beautiful, and dashboard just breaks that a little bit for me. But anyway. Together, these will include all of the information you need to play Wildwoods. Turn the storybook page to Scene 1, Crossing the River. Okay. The top page of each scene includes story text, instructions for setup, shadow effects, and the Luma prevails and the shadow prevails outcomes. Okay, so it's sort of like win and loss text, although glancing at them, it looks like you progress either way. Like one of the things I love about Arkham Horror the card game, which if you follow the channel, you know we play a lot of, is it's fail forward. It's a campaign. Failing doesn't mean replay it. It means the story evolves. Seems like the same here. Love that. Okay. First, read the story text for crossing the river, then follow the setup instructions for the scene. Okay, crossing the river. Despite her apprehension, Luma followed Brahm as he lumbered toward the path of glowing leaves at the river's edge. With the vision still fresh in her mind, Luma couldn't help but think about the deer. It seemed so frightened. Fear began to well up from somewhere deep inside Luma, pressing against her heart. She reached for Brahm, grasping his fur tightly, and as together they stepped into the water. Scene setup. All the cards needed for this prologue chapter are included in the prologue deck. Be sure not to shuffle it, and follow the instructions on the cards closely to learn how to play. Each chapter will include its own deck of cards to be placed in the chapter space. I guess that's here, chapter. Step 1. Place the prologue deck in the chapter space on the left dashboard. Step 2. Draw prologue card 3. Okay, this was prologue card 2. All right. Card 3. Throughout the prologue, you will be instructed to take certain cards from this deck and place them on or around the storybook as indicated. Take the next card, the Luma card. Okay, it's called Luma and Brahm. And place it in the Luma space on the left dashboard so that the Luma and Brahm side is face up. Check. Take the Brahm card and place it below the Brahm space on the left dashboard. Oh, I'm going to have to shift up a little bit. Seems like I need a little space below this, but okay. There we go. Take the Brahm card, place it below the Brahm space on the left dashboard so that the protect side is face up. All right. Flip this card. Next, take the 4 action cards, Explore, Light, Help, and Heal, and place them face up below the storybook in the order shown. Okay, we have Explore, Light, Help, and Heal. My lights are forming a little bit of a shadow there. I'm trying to get them out from the shadow. Okay. The 4 numbered spaces, 3+, 4+, 5+, and 6+, and the 3 blank spaces with a dash along the bottom of the storybook form the river. The start of the river begins at the 3+ space, and the end of the river is the space immediately to the right of the last card in the river, which I guess is here, currently. As you play, cards will move and slide frequently within the river. Take the shadow card and place it in the shadow space on the left dashboard so that the lost side is face down. Shadow, yeah, it says lost on the other side. Okay. Take the 2 explore cards, berries and mud, and place them face down in the explore space on the right dashboard in any order. Okay. Mud and berries go on the explore space. Take the 2 creature cards, Wildwoods and Cry, and place them face down in the creature space on the right dashboard with the Cry card on top. Okay, if I flip them over, they're on top. There's creatures. Take the crystal tokens. Okay, time for punch board. Crystal tokens, location markers. So let's punch the crystals. We've got crystals, location markers over here. Okay. Done. And stun tokens. And place them in the corresponding spaces on the right dashboard. Oh, there's spots for them here. Okay. Stun tokens. Location markers. Am I missing one? Oh, yep. There we go. And crystals. Okay. Messy, but it'll do. They look nicely stacked in the diagram on the card. Read prologue card 5. Take the 5 8-sided dice and place them next to the used dice space in the right dashboard. All right. The 10-sided and 12-sided dice remain in the game box. In later chapters, you can earn these dice by helping critters of the forest. Okay, won't need those. For the prologue, we are starting with Reduced Spirit. Take the Spirit marker. Here we go. And place it on the Spirit track on the left dashboard in the 4th space from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Finally, take the light and shadow markers. At this point, that's everything from the punch board. We will recycle that later. And place them in their starting spaces on the Wildwoods track as shown below. Okay, so moon on the right, shadow on the right, light on the left. We're now ready to begin playing. As Luma, you will play through scenes by exploring unique locations, healing corrupted creatures, helping various critters, and attempting to bring light back to the forest. Depending on the choices you make as you play, your journey through the Wildwoods will be made easier as you help restore the light, or more difficult as the shadow closes in. The top page of each scene describes the 2 ways in which a scene ends. Either Luma prevails or the shadow prevails. For this scene, Luma prevails once you have resolved the onward location. Like, in quotes, onward location. Alright, that's a little bit meaningless, but then it says, let's get started. Each turn consists of 2 phases, the Luma phase and the Shadow phase. During the Luma phase, you control Luma's action. Each Luma phase begins by retrieving all dice from the used dice space and placing them in front of you. These are your available dice. Okay? Boom. Available. The Luma phase continues by performing actions until you've used all your available dice. The actions you can perform are represented by your 4 action cards: Explore, Light, Help, and Heal. Each action card has 2 abilities, a top ability and a bottom ability. We're going to focus on learning how to use the top abilities for now. To perform an action, you will first choose an action card and pull it toward you. Next, you will select either the top or bottom ability. I guess let me slide this up a little bit more so that I have a little space to work with. I don't really want... I want everything in frame because this looks so nice, but there we go. Okay. You'll first choose an action card and pull it toward you. Next, you'll select either the top or... Oh, I'm sorry, I read this. No, next, you'll select either the top or bottom ability on the card and the target of your attempt. Finally, you will roll any number of your available dice and attempt to gain successes. Let's see how this works. For your first action, let's choose the Explore action card. Exploring the Wildwoods allows us to resolve explore locations found in the scene. Okay. So, it has a little diagram here indicating that I kind of pull this down, indicate that I'm using it. Flip this card. Okay. Scenes contain both explore locations and help locations, distinguished by the color and symbol. Some locations are connected by a line, requiring you to resolve them in order from left to right. Using the top ability of the Explore action card, we'll attempt to resolve the Explore location Cross. The Explore location Cross requires 2 successes to resolve, represented by the number of colored dots. Okay, that makes sense so far. Since we need at least 2 successes to resolve the cross location, let's choose 3 of your available dice to roll and attempt to get 2 or more successes. Because your Explore action is currently in the 3+ space of the river, each die you roll needs a result of 3 or higher to count as 1 success. That makes sense. Throughout the prologue only, if you do not roll enough successes, you may roll again until you do. We will explain later what normally happens if you fail to roll enough successes. Okay, so for the tutorial's sake, we're going to succeed, but let's roll. I did not roll enough. There's a 6, a 2, and a 1. Off to a good start. Sounds like the husband's home and has let the dogs out, so if you're hearing them barking in the yard, my apologies. That probably picks up on the mic. They sound like they're having a lovely time, though, much like I am. Okay, the reroll is a 5-5-6. That's much better. Flip this card. Hooray! You have rolled enough successes to resolve the cross location. Place a location marker onto the cross location to indicate it has been resolved. Locations with a location marker cannot be resolved again. And it says here, draw story card 1. Is it going to hold my hand on that? Read prologue card 10. When a location is resolved, immediately read and follow the location's text. The cross location instructs us to draw story card 1. Take story card 1 from the prologue deck. Oh, it's the next one here. Okay. And flip it over to reveal the card. And I assume read it. Let's see what this says, and then I'll read it. As you play, story cards will tell the story of Luma and her journey through the Wildwoods. Mini cards also include an on-play effect that must be resolved immediately after you have drawn the card, and it points to it here. Okay. Cool. So we'll set that one aside and take a break from the tutorial text to read the story here. A cold splash. Brahm entered the chilly water without hesitation. For Luma, the bracing cold was a stark reminder that the warmth and safety of home would soon be left behind. Brahm paused to glance at Luma. Then, with an encouraging snort, he pushed forward. Whatever awaited them on the other side, they would face it together. On play, draw 1 creature card, then read prologue card 11. Alright, creature card was Cry. Oh, were they supposed to be face down with Cry on top? Maybe so. Okay. Anyway. Cry. On play, end of the river. After activation, move 1 space toward the start of the river. Okay. Hopefully this will elaborate. Alright. Is there a story discard? No? Doesn't seem to be. I'll just set it up here for now. Alright, the on-play effect of story card 1 instructs us to draw 1 creature card. Take the top card of the creature deck and flip it over to reveal the creature. A corrupted Cry. Many creatures of the Wildwoods are under the influence of the shadow. These creatures will take away your spirit and disrupt your plans. When a creature card is drawn, immediately play it by resolving the on-play effect found on the creature card. The on-play effect for the Cry tells us to place the card face up at the end of the river. It shows a diagram of it going here. Okay. To finish the action, first return all dice you rolled for this action to the used dice space. Check. Then take the action card you used, the Explore card, and move it to the end of the river. Finally, slide all the cards in the river to the left so that there are no empty spaces between cards. Your river should look like the picture below. So basically, these are all going to slide over, including the Cry. And Explore now goes here. I wonder if this means I can't use it right now, which would be kind of brutal. Okay. We still have 2 available dice, so you can perform another action. This time, let's choose the Help action card and attempt to resolve the Untangle Help location, which requires only 1 success. Help locations allow you to ask the critters of the Wildwoods for assistance, or even help them in return. Okay, some locations, like Untangle, are not required for Luma to prevail, but provide additional rewards if resolved. So, sure, let's do it. Begin by pulling the Help action card toward you. Your Help card is currently in the 4+ space of the river, which means each die you roll needs to be 4 or higher to count as 1 success. Roll both of your remaining dice. Again, for the sake of the prologue, if you do not roll 1 or more successes, roll again until you do. We know it's 1 because it has 1 die here, I guess. I got it. A 5. Okay. Flip this card. You did it! Place a location marker on the Untangle location. The Untangle location's effect instructs us to gain, and it has 2 crystal symbols. Crystals contain the gratitude of creatures and critters, and can be used to add additional successes to your rolls. When gaining crystals, take them from the crystal space and place them on top of any one of your 4 action cards. For now, let's choose to place both crystals on the Light action card. Okay, so it's telling me what to do, but that's cool. This is very Arc Nova or Civilization and New Dawn, those games that kind of use the action queue. It doesn't seem, based on, you know, one tutorial turn, it doesn't seem to have that thing where it's more powerful depending on what slot it's in, but they do, I mean, it's kind of more powerful because you are more likely to roll successes, I guess. So in a way it does have that. And then you are sort of like the goods in Civilization and New Dawn. You're like putting tokens now on cards that you expect to make use of them later. Cool. I like it. I love that mechanic in those games. Cool to see it in a very different kind of game. Okay. So let's place them on the Light action card. Until spent, crystals stay on and move with their action cards in the river. Let's finish this action by once again returning all rolled dice to the used dice space. Then take your chosen action card Help and move it to the end of the river. Finally slide all cards in the river to the left so that there are no empty spaces. Okay, I wonder what it means that this creature is moving down to towards the front. This process is called cleaning up the river. Okay. Now that you have used all of your available dice, it's time to begin the Shadow Phase. During the Shadow Phase, the corrupted creatures of the Wildwoods attempt to drain you of your spirit and disrupt your plans. Watch out! Okay, and there's a reference up here, I guess. Oh yeah, there's a reference to what we've been learning up here so far. Luma Phase, retrieve all dice, perform actions. Shadow Phase, activate creatures, advance shadow marker. Okay. The Shadow Phase begins by activating each creature in the river once, starting from left to right. Currently, there is 1 creature in your river, the Cry. When the creature is activated, it attacks. You will lose spirit equal to the amount shown on the creature's card. Oh, it's really small. I don't know how well this reads on camera, but it has one spirit in the corner. The Cry causes you to lose 1 spirit. Move your spirit marker 1 space to the right on the spirit track. If you are ever instructed to lose more spirit than you have remaining, you are overwhelmed by the shadow. When this happens, you must continue losing spirit from the start of the spirit track. Yeah, there's an arrow here even that says continue losing spirit, then draw a shadow card. So you must continue losing spirit from the start of the spirit track and then draw a shadow card. Shadow cards represent Luma's inner turmoil. If you are ever forced to draw the final shadow card, the shadow prevails. Oh, and we only have 1. Okay, so we don't want to lose our last 3 points of spirit. Because it says if you draw the last one, the shadow prevails, and there's only the 1. Unless this deck gives us more to like put under it. Alright, scary. Finally, resolve the after activation effect on the Cry card, which instructs us to move the Cry 1 space toward the start of the river. When a card enters the river or moves into a space that already contains a card, in this example, Heal, it forces the card to move 1 space to the right. After each creature has activated, the Shadow Phase continues. Okay, so after activation, move it 1 space toward the start of the river. Pushes Heal to the right. So maybe I was kind of expecting, since I looked down earlier and saw that it moves, I kind of expected it to like do something when it reaches the front of the river, but maybe it just clogs the better action spaces, and that's why it's bad that it moves. We'll see, I guess. After each creature has activated, the shadow phase continues. Advance the shadow marker one space toward the center of the Wildwoods track. Like this. Okay. Some spaces on the track have unique icons that trigger various shadow effects, which are described in the scene setup. Alright, yeah, there's a little eye above this one. After advancing the shadow marker, look above its space for any shadow effect icons. Yep. For this shadow effect, you're instructed, oh, it's up here, to draw one creature card. Oh, I forgot that this is like one of many pages in this book, so this track will always be different. That's cool. Okay. You're instructed to draw one creature card. Draw the remaining creature card and resolve its on-play effect by placing it. So let's see. The Wildwoods. On-play, 6+ is what it says. So, resolve its on-play effect by placing it in the 6+ space in the river, which moves the Explore and Help cards one space to the right. Okay. After advancing the shadow marker and resolving any shadow effects, the shadow phase ends. It's time to begin another Luma phase. Start the Luma phase by retrieving all dice from the used dice space. For your first action, let's choose the Light action card and attempt to light a creature. Lighting a creature is a helpful way to prevent it from attacking you, stunning it momentarily with a flash of brilliant light. To light a creature, first pull the light card towards you, and choose the creature you wish to light. Let's choose the Wildwoods, because it will cause you to lose more spirit than the cry when it activates. Oh yeah, that one attacks for 3. So that sounds horrible. we don't want to do that. Okay. We would seemingly lose, or at least the shadow would prevail, I guess. Okay. After choosing which creature to light, count how many yellow dots are on the bottom left of the creature card. There's 2 red dots and 1 yellow dot. This is the number of successes you need in order to light the creature. The light card is currently in the 3+ space, and we need 1 success to light the Wildwoods. Choose to roll 2 dice and get at least 1 success. Okay, I choose to get at least 1 success. And I barely did it with a 3. Alright. Success. When you light a creature, first move it to the end of the river. Okay, so this pushes it out to the end. Then place a stun token on the card. Alright. Now when this creature activates, you won't lose spirit. Don't forget to finish your action and clean up the river. Return rolled dice. Move the light action card to the end of the river and close the gaps. Okay. Remember, until crystals are spent, they stay on their action cards whenever the card moves in the river. So those 2 crystals are still on the light card. Got it. We still have 3 available dice, so let's attempt to heal a creature from the shadow by choosing the heal card. Alright, yep. To heal a creature, you must gain successes equal to the number of red dots on the creature card. The heal card is currently in the 4+ space of the river, and you need 1 success to heal the cry. Yep, I see that. Roll your 3 remaining dice and get at least 1 success. Yes, sir. There we go. Rolled some 5s. Those are successes. When you successfully heal a creature, first remove the creature from the river and place it face up on the creature discard. Oh, so the heal is what seems to remove them from the river. Place it face up on the creature discard space on the right dashboard. Check. Then gain the number of crystals found on the bottom right of the creature card. That's 1 crystal. Okay. For now, let's choose to also place it on the light card, along with the others we placed previously. Each card can contain a maximum of 3 crystals. Finally, finish the action and clean up the river. Okay, so we will get rid of the dice, move this card to the right, and clean up the river by shifting everything down 2, because the cry is gone entirely. It is now the shadow phase. The only creature to activate is the Wildwoods. Because the Wildwoods has a stun icon on it, instead of losing spirit, we simply remove the stun icon. That's great news. Then follow the after activation effect on the card as normal. That is end of the river, so it's actually going to go upstream to here, I guess. Then continue the shadow phase by advancing the shadow marker 1 space toward the center of the Wildwoods track. There are no shadow effects that time. It is now the start of another Luma phase. Retrieve all your dice from the used dice space. Each action card also has a bottom ability you can choose to perform. For example, the heal card's bottom ability allows you to gain 1 spirit for each success, which moves your spirit marker to the left. Oh, okay. Yeah, so like the heal card says gain successes to heal 1 creature, but below this line it says for each success gain 1 spirit. Here we go. For now, let's choose the Explore card. Its bottom ability says for each success, draw 1 Explore card. Choose 1 to keep and discard the others. Follow the same steps as before. Pull the card toward you, choose a number of dice to roll, and count successes. Okay, so Explore. We're going to do it. So did we have to choose the ability before rolling the dice? Or can you roll the dice and then decide which thing you're doing? I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe it'll become clear. Okay, so we are rolling 2 dice and getting 2 successes is what the tutorial says, so hope we roll well. It does only take 3 plus, and 2 3s, that'll do it. Okay. After the prologue, whenever you attempt the top ability of an action card and fail to gain enough successes by rolling dice and spending crystals, you may always choose to perform the bottom ability instead by using the successes that you rolled. Oh. So it's like if you fail to explore 1 location, then instead you can draw 1 Explore card for each success, choose 1 to keep and discard the others. I see. So it's not an initial choice between the 2. Or maybe it is, because then it'll... Wait. Well, let me just keep reading this. If you fail to get any successes, the attempt fails completely. Instead of resolving the effect, you would move that action card to the end of the river and clean up the river. Because you attempted the bottom ability of the Explore action card and gained 2 successes, draw 2 Explore cards. So I guess you can just declare that you're doing the bottom anyway. Okay, so I'm going to draw 2 Explore cards. There are 2. That's convenient. They say, berries, when used, gain 2 spirit, then discard this card. Or mud, on play, move each creature 1 space toward the start of the river, then discard this card. Toward the start of the river. Interesting. That seems like a bad thing. Oh, I see. Yes, berries are called a boon, and mud is called a bane. So that tracks. Okay, got it. There are 2 types of Explore cards, boons and banes. Boons can be used to aid you, while banes will hinder you. Let's choose to keep the berries boon card. First, place it in your boon area of the left dashboard. Then discard the mud card by placing it face up on the Explore and discard space. Finally, clean up the river. Okay. Got it. Over the course of Luma's journey, you will add additional boons and bane cards to your Explore deck. Some of these cards represent companions, while others represent traumas. Now let's look at the final location. Some locations, such as Onward, have a Wildwoods icon on them. Oh, I see. That's this thing that looks kind of like a wheel, as opposed to just a plain color. Got it. In order to attempt these locations, the light marker must be on the center space of the Wildwoods track. Oh. I see. It's not. To do this, let's perform the bottom ability of the light card. For each success we gain, we will advance the light marker 1 space toward the center of the Wildwoods track. Okay, so I see the bottom ability says for each success, advance the light marker 1 space. So you have to choose between kind of using this to stun creatures, I guess, when it's in a convenient place to use, or to advance the light marker. Neat. Okay. Because the light marker needs to move 4 spaces to reach the center of the Wildwoods track, and you only have 3 available dice remaining, now would be a good time to spend some crystals. Crystals on action cards can be spent to add 1 success per crystal, but only if you first roll at least 1 success. Roll all of your remaining dice and get at least 1 success. Oh, okay. I actually expected it to be choose to spend the crystals before you roll. So there's still some variability there, but actually you just have to roll enough dice that you're confident you'll have a success, then you can spend the crystals. Cute. I like it. Okay. 2 successes, 6 and an 8. Then spend your crystals by returning them to the crystal space until you have enough successes to move the light marker to the center of the track. So with 2 on the dice, that'll be 2 more crystals. Will get me 1, 2, 3, 4. In this example, we advance the light marker to the center space in a single action. However, you do not need to do this, and can instead advance the light marker over multiple actions. Now that the light marker has reached the center space of the Wildwoods track, the only thing left for Luma to prevail is to resolve the onward location. Unfortunately, you've used all your available dice, meaning another shadow phase begins. Okay, so let's clean this up. It looks like it didn't tell me to do it this time, it just expects me to be on top of it. Begin the shadow phase by activating the Wildvark. It attacks, causing you to lose 3 spirit. Oh no, you're out of spirit. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It says continue losing spirit, then draw a shadow card. Brutal. Whenever you run out of spirit, continue losing spirit from the start of the track, then draw a shadow card. Drawing the final shadow card always ends the chapter. Thankfully, there's a twist. Thankfully, the ability on the Luma and Braum card can prevent us from drawing the final shadow card. Read the ability on the Luma and Braum card and follow the instructions. It says, Luma is brave and kind. She is guarded by Braum, a fierce old bear with a loyal heart. Instead of drawing the final shadow card, place Braum on the top of the shadow discard pile with the protect side face up, then flip this card. Alright, Braum is protecting us. Now this card just says Luma. Luma summoned her courage and confronted the shadows alone. During the Luma phase, you may spend crystals from any action card to reroll 1 die. Oh, geez, it leveled me up. Wow. Okay. That's cool. With Braum holding off the shadow, we still need to follow the after activation effect on the Wildvark card and clean up the river. So, that says 6+. So it goes, or no, end of the river rather. So it goes here, then we clean it up. Then, for the last step of the shadow phase, advance the shadow marker 1 space toward the center of the Wildwood track. Yep. If the shadow marker ever reaches the center space, even if the light marker is already there, the shadow prevails. It's only 1 space away. Okay, multiple ways to lose. Spirit or time. Alright, I dig it. Let me make sure that if anyone is chatting, I'm seeing it. Now we got some viewers, but y'all are quiet. That is fine. Okay, read prologue card 25. You can do this! Begin the Luma phase by retrieving your dice and choosing the Explorer card to attempt the final Explorer location onward. The Explorer action is currently in the 5+ space. This will be difficult. Roll all 5 of your dice and get at least 1 success to resolve the location. Yeah, because you need a 5+, so a little dangerous. Okay, so let's roll the dice. A 5+ is a success. 4 successes. Well, aren't we fancy? Place a location marker on the onward location, then draw and read story card 2, because that's what it says here. Story card 2 was the next one here? Yep. Okay. Reflection. Was this a taste of things to come? What had afflicted these creatures and caused them to act so unnaturally? Is this what had frightened the deer? Luma pondered the encounter. Perhaps she and Braum could heal them, heal the forest. It was not far away now. On play, Luma prevails. Read the Luma prevails section. Okay. Don't forget to clean up the river, it tells me here. Let me just do that. So we never defeated the Wildvark. Okay. Luma prevails says if you resolve the onward location, travel to scene 2 into the dark. And let's see what the prologue says about it. First, read the section titled Luma Prevails at the top of the storybook, which I just did. Congratulations, you've completed the scene and Luma has prevailed. You are now instructed to travel to scene 2, into the dark. To travel, we will follow the travel steps listed on the top of the right dashboard. That would be over here. That's kind of the last area we haven't used, I guess. First, discard all creature cards from the river and place them face up on the creature discard pile. Good riddance, Wildvark. Next, clean up the river. Then remove light, shadow, and location markers from the scene. Okay. And the dice are spent, I guess. Finally, turn the page to scene 2, into the dark, and continue the story. Turn the page to scene 2. Okay, that's the end of the prologue deck, so is it not holding my hand anymore? Let's see what this says. Oh. It's the prologue had said it was 2 scenes, but this one doesn't seem to be gameplay, so we've done it. Alright, this one's titled Into the Dark. Luma sat on the bank of the river and rested her head against Braum's reassuring leg. She smiled as the Wildvark happily dug up some of the thick roots from the sodden soil. Her light had cleansed the crimson shadows from the creature, but the act had drained her spirit. Every time she used the light, Luma drew closer to the brink, and she worried she might lose herself to the shadow. It made her feel frightened and abandoned, just like when the nightmare, capital N nightmare, just like when the nightmare came to visit her in the dead of night. Ooh, okay. In her heart, Luma understood that if the shadows continued to spread, it wouldn't just be the forest that suffered. Everything she loved would be in danger. The creatures she cared for, her home at the river's edge, even Brahm. The old bear heaved his body forward with a deflated sigh and nudged Luma gently. As his warmth reached her, Luma's dark thoughts began to subside, and a sense of calm returned to her heart. I am ready, Brahm, Luma said, meeting his eyes. The bear peered at the looming forest and then back at Luma. He nodded, as he always did when she shared her visions and fears with him. With Brahm by her side and a newfound light growing inside her, Luma gathered her courage and marched toward the unknown. Something, or someone, called her to heal the forest. She must be ready to face whatever shadows awaited, but with each step, the weight of responsibility grew heavier, and her nerves started to get the better of her again. Luma held on to Brahm tighter and tighter with every passing step, as her old doubts returned. If I fail, everything will be lost. Congratulations on completing the prologue. Take the rules reference from the game box, I got it here, and place it nearby. It's a helpful guide to remind you of the rules you just learned in the prologue. And it does have a quick reference guide on the back, which I love. And then some details that, it's just 6 pages, so maybe I'll read them before I proceed to chapter 1. Set aside the Luma card, the Brahm card, and 4 action cards. These will continue with you from now on. Okay. Makes sense. Return all other cards to the game box. Chapter 1 provide you with a new deck of cards during chapter setup. Return all crystals, location markers, and stun tokens to their supply spaces. Turn the page to chapter 1, Howls in the Wind, to set up the first chapter. Is it just... Oh, that's here on page 3. Okay. Like I said, I was planning on a short stream, so I'm not diving into chapter 1 here. I do intend to film a video in the very near future while this is fresh in my mind, so look for that on the channel soon. And so far, this is cool. I think that the gameplay has been extremely simple so far, so we'll see kind of where it goes. But I like the take on that Arc Nova, A New Dawn action queue system. And then, have I said this game is gorgeous? This game is gorgeous. The writing is, not much has happened other than kind of setting the scene, but the writing is really well done so far. I'm enjoying reading it, and I can't get enough of looking at this game. The cards with their black text box, and then Luma is always kind of a white silhouette on these backdrops, these colorful backdrops, the berries in the mud. It reminds me of Limbo a little bit. The video game. It's kind of a puzzle platformer. You've played it. Everyone's played Limbo, right? It's great. I highly recommend it. This reminds me a lot of its style. And that one gets dark. It's a much more... This is a very, almost light, at least, very, naturey and flowery and friendly start, and then it kind of just saying the shadow is coming, right? The nightmare is coming. Whereas Limbo starts dark and stays dark. But, so I'm curious whether this goes into, by the end of this, is it a bunch of kind of twisted shit? Or is it still Luma and the bear on an adventure? I'm very curious. I could see it going either way, and I think regardless, it's going to be gorgeous and well written, and I'm excited to see more of it. So, cool. Well, thank you again. As I'm, what is it? Open Owl. It's the open part that I keep blanking. I was like Owl Studios. That's not right. Thanks again to Open Owl for the copy. I'm really excited to see where it goes, and so you can watch for that on the channel if you've gotten this far and haven't liked this stream or archive, depending on how you're watching it. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel too, even better. And then keep an eye out for chapter 1 as a video on the channel in the near future. All right, that's a stream. I am going to make myself some dinner and maybe play some Call of Duty Zombies and get a workout in. It's a big night ahead. Oh, it's a Wednesday as I'm recording. Survivor's on tonight. I'm a big Survivor fan. That's very exciting. Okay. I have an even bigger night than I thought I had. All right, well, I better get to it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. What's the right button? There we go.